What's going on, Dolphins fans? My name is Louis Sung. I'm the host of Pulse of Fins Nation here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. You can catch my show every Tuesday at 7 p.m. where we take the pulse of Fins Nation, see how you, the fans, are feeling about certain things happening with the team. And I'm about to hit you with another Take 5. This is going to be an emotionally charged one simply because of the nature of the quarterback position. And let me tell you something, guys. Skylar Thompson is a lock to make the 53-man roster at this point. I don't feel like there's any worth debating anymore. I feel like just based on the performance that he's had during this preseason, he's definitely earned his spot. Mike McDaniel implied otherwise when he said that Skylar Thompson can rest easy, knowing that he's done everything that can possibly be done. So I feel like we may have an indication of what is going to happen with him. But here's why he deserves it, just so everybody can get this out in the open. Skylar Thompson, 5 touchdown passes throughout the preseason, ties him with New York Jets quarterback Chris Streveler, has a 138.4 QB passer rating. I'm not usually a passer rating guy, but it does actually indicate just how well he's done throughout this preseason. Skylar Thompson, depending on how you slice it, he's either number 1 or number 2 throughout the preseason. You could make the argument that Sam Ehlinger actually has it higher on the Indianapolis Colts, 147.8, but based on at least CBS Sports statistics, he doesn't technically count for that. So you could either argue that Skylar Thompson is number 1 or number 2. 450 yards passing, a lot of help from Eric Ezukanma and Hunter Long to get there, especially during this last game. So again, but that is just indicative of everything else that's been happening. Now, the implications of this. Okay, watch this. It's very obvious that Teddy Bridgewater's days are already numbered in Miami. Like, as much as we enjoyed having the hometown hero come back home and be the backup for Tua Tagovailoa, it's very obvious between Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater who actually is performing better. Teddy Bridgewater had an absolutely awful play. That safety that he didn't throw the ball away fast enough in the end zone ended up becoming a safety due to intentional grounding. Just not a good look for Teddy Bridgewater. Meanwhile, Skylar Thompson, 7th round rookie out of Kansas State. I mean, he's done pretty much everything you could ask of any rookie quarterback. And quite frankly, there are going to be a lot of teams who would be desperate to get their hands on him. There are some teams that honestly he could possibly start for. Seattle Seahawks, I don't think they're necessarily thrilled about having Geno Smith or Drew Lock. Like, are you serious? That's your go-to? Unless you're actively trying to tank, which, by the way, should have connotations of maybe some NFL discipline, since we were doing the same thing with the Dolphins, or is it only when the Dolphins do it? But I digress. Skylar Thompson has earned his spot, and I know that this is all going to eventually lead up to the whole, Skylar Thompson's better than Tua Tagovailoa. I don't believe that for a second. However, I do believe that he, in the future, could potentially push Tua in the future, which is never a bad thing. It's always good to have a QB competition in some regard. Whether Skylar Thompson can do that or not, I think he can definitely do it better than Teddy Bridgewater can, just based on performance. I think Tua Tagovailoa is going to be an awesome quarterback for the Miami Dolphins for years to come, just based on everything that we've seen so far during this preseason, with the kind of weapons he has around him, with the pieces that are necessary for a quarterback to have success. But it's always good to have somebody there to push you to make you better. And that's not a bad thing. I'm all for that. That doesn't mean I think Skylar Thompson is better. I don't think Skylar Thompson should be starting over Tua, but I think that it's a good thing to have somebody available to actually give some level of competition. And I think Skylar Thompson is going to do just that. So it's a no-brainer for me. Skylar Thompson is a lock to make this roster. He should be a lock to make this roster. I think Mike McDaniel knows he's a lock to make this roster, and other teams are going to be wishing that they could have gotten their hands on him. So congrats to Chris Grier for finding an amazing acorn, just sitting there, and they decided to snag it for themselves. Awesome move by them, and I think that this is going to make a great quarterback duo for many years to come. If anything ever happens to Tua, I think the Dolphins are going to be in good hands with Skylar Thompson.